Hello from me, Dina Marais, business and life success coach of dinamarais.com.
And I'm Jan Edwards, the gifted ghostwriter and the genius and joy life experience.com. And we're here to give you the fourth transmission in a series called Permission to Come Alive.
Absolutely. And in our previous transmission, we talked about what it feels like to not be alive or to not come alive. And we ended it with that we would continue the conversation of what it means to come alive and what it feels like. Or what did we say? What are the symptoms? Or the vibration, the energy vibration of what it means in our life. The way of being, now I remember. The way of being. Because, Jan, you said that some people can say, but I mean, it's impossible to always feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course, we are human and things happen and things pull us back, and we are in a thought universe, so we pick up all kinds of thoughts and we pick up the energy of people around us. Mm-hmm. So, yes, it's important, your environment and who you spend time with. Who's in your world, because that it does affect us. However, we can make a decision. And I love that I've got this neuro process of taking responsibility for your own thoughts, your words, thoughts, feelings, words, and action. Nobody can make you feel anything. It's from you. And when we take that responsibility and we are very conscious of our vibration, and I love what Abraham Hicks always says, care about how you feel.
Absolutely.
And if we care about how we feel and know that that is our vibration, gosh, I like to feel good. Okay? I just hate it when I feel miserable or fear or doubt or any kind of disappointment. The more I can feel good, the more I just utterly dislike not feeling good. So it is in our power, in choosing our thoughts, in changing the images in our brain to make us feel good. So yes, we can actually feel good most of the time.
As we say that, there are a whole lot of people saying, yeah, that's easy for you to say. And I think that they're coming from this place of feeling so connected to other people and other people's feelings and other people's needs and all of those things and more that are a result of being conditioned and brought up to put everybody else before you, that before you can actually tune into your own thoughts and feelings and want to feel good and command that to happen, you have to first disconnect from everything that's not you. So it's almost like cutting the umbilical cord, or energetic cords. Because if you're not making sure that your energy and your intuition and your source and your inner being and your inner guides, or whatever you want to call it, if you're not making sure that that's the only thing you're listening to and you're feeling and paying attention to, you got all this other noise in the background, all these voices and all these old beliefs and all these thoughts and these feelings that cause you to hesitate to connect with just yourself, because you're still connected. You still have these invisible cords and beliefs that are connected to everyone who's ever trained you into forgetting who you are.
Absolutely. And it's only when we really consciously decide to not fall into that. And I think also something that we sometimes misunderstand is that you talked earlier about people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think maybe in the previous transmission, but what it comes down to is that we can, if we sympathize with people who complain and who just talk about how bad things are, if we fall into that, then that affects our vibration. And that is actually, that brings the law of attraction to bring, us those experiences as well.
Yeah.
So we really need to become quite selfish.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a sense of, really protecting the way that we feel and not, yes, it's not to have not no empathy, of course. But it's to have that sort of vibrational protection around us. Yes, we can empathize. However, we feel in ourselves that we are, as you said earlier, we have that disconnect of not letting that, the vibration of the complaints and, of the other person's misery actually affect our own vibration. And I think that is so important. That's quite a skill. It's something that we need to practice. To really, it's a skill that we need to practice. But it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so much that's going through my mind right now. First, you have to believe that feeling good and following your own inner thoughts and guidance is the best way to go and is the only way to go, and give yourself permission to do that. Because until you really believe that that's going to be your best way to go, no amount of skill will help you not to do that. You have to have a desire that's strong enough that it topples the dominoes so that all these other beliefs and ways of thinking just get fizzled out, because almost like you've reached that point of pain or discomfort that's so high now, it is more painful and more uncomfortable to stay in that place that you were with pleasing others and following everything that you've been told is the right way to live, that you finally let that go because the pain is too great. The pain of staying the same is greater than the fear of change.
Yes. And also, when we are in the victim mode, when we feel that life happens to us, that things are against us, and we blame our circumstances on the economy and people, etc., etc. But when we pass that, when we really come to a high vibration or higher way of being, of realizing that we actually create our lives with our thoughts, because the moment we think, we feel, and then we in a state, you're always in a state. And then in that state, from that state, you respond. And of course, then there are consequences. Then there are results. And of course, the results, as it creates a cycle. The results confirms our beliefs, and then puts us in a state again, we respond again, and so it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're in the victim mode and we feel, that life happens to us, then it's so easy to fall into of being around with people and really sympathize and talk about how miserable things are. And of course, that confirms to us how miserable things are, and miserable things happen to us. However, if we can snap out of that, and we can really, when we become aware of, we create this. Do I want to create this? Do I want to really, put fuel on this fire of this, complaining, and attract that into my life as well, this kind of thing? No, I don't want that. So we can empathize and be really empathetic without us falling in and complaining with the other person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't even empathize anymore.
Oh, you don't?
I'm not saying that, I'm some selfish, mean, uncaring, unfeeling ogre, because everyone who knows me knows the opposite is true. But you have to let all of that go. You have to realize that your life is on a course direction that only you can guide. And if you don't take the wheel, it's going to just randomly be bumping and crashing and, going wherever it goes based on someone else's control.
Basically handing over the control.
Because when you realize that everyone has their own inner guidance and their own intuition and their own connection to God, source, energy, creator, spirit, whatever you want to call it, then you don't have to worry about them. You don't
Yes,
have to
yes.
worry that they're going to
They're
be
on their
stuck.
own journey. They're on their own journey. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're not here to save everybody. We're really not, even though a lot of people believe we are. We've each got our own inner ability to create this wonderful, highest version of ourselves. And therefore, if we each took responsibility for doing that, we would have a world filled with people just like that. Nobody would be needing anyone else's compassion or assistance or support. Now, that's not saying we don't have hearts and we can't, we can't see and feel that someone's afraid or in pain, but that trust that the same God or the same source, the same universe that created me and created my soul and my inner being and my inner guidance created that person's too. And they're on that path. It's really none of my business. And this actually brings to mind something I was going to talk about in another transmission, but I just want to drop the little word that I want to talk sometime in the future about empaths.
Okay.
And what we all have been starting to believe about empaths and being empathic. But I'm not going to go there right now. I just, I want to keep this on track because it seems what we're really talking about in this transmission is connecting to the self, disconnecting to all the other sidetracking and subterfuge that we've been conditioned to pay attention to so that we can really tune in, maintain our alignment. And from that place, we can start doing more things that help us to come alive.
Yes, and also, just to end this off now, because we don't want to sort of exceed our 15 minutes too much. I think, the better we can protect our energy and aligned with our true self and really be selfish in that way of looking after ourselves, the better we are actually for other people.
Absolutely.
The better we are to inspire them to, and that our vibration affect them and lift them up instead of being pulled down.
Yeah.
And I think that gives us more permission to come alive and to be present and to really look up.
Yeah, absolutely. You got cut off a little bit, but I think in the recording maybe they'll hear you. Do we have another minute that I can end with, or are we done?
Yes, no, you can.
Okay, perfect. I just want to read this quote. It's about selfishness, because we've all been raised to believe selfishness is like this negative, nasty word that we don't want to be. And that's part of the whole conditioning. That's part of the whole brainwashing. Selfishness means paying attention to who you are, what you want, what you're able to do, and being independently responsible for that. That's selfishness.
Yes.
It's not the bad word. So selfishness, if you are not selfish enough to identify your own preferences, then you cannot connect to the power that is really you. In not deciding what's best for you, you water your true self down with what's best for this and what's best for that and what's best for her and for him and everyone else. And what's best for you when you're in alignment with who you really are is what's best for everyone who has anything to do with you. Because when you are in alignment with Source, God, Spirit, Energy, Universe, you have plenty to give. Never-ending source. That's why they call it Source. You're flowing, you're dynamic, you're fun. But if you're not selfish enough to get tuned in first to your own alignment, you're not good for yourself or anyone else, which is just another way to put what you put. But I just thought that was a beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautifully said. Great. What a way to end this transmission. And we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye for now.